Take 3.
Full Disclosure Friday. Welcome back. Welcome back, Matt.
And Kelly.
Yeah. I
Missed you guys.
am pumped to be back. This is my favorite thing that we do.
Yeah.
I mean,
hands
besides sell houses, so this is the fun stuff. So we took the summer off, which has been, the kids were home, obviously, and we do this from home. This is our backyard. And so that would have been nearly impossible. But also on the work front, we were slammed, and it was the greatest summer ever for our business.
As our daughter would say.
Yeah,
Epic.
as our 14-year-old would say, epic summer. It was lit. We had so many listings. We were in escrow at one time at 6 different things. It was just, we were all over Northern California, and it was unbelievable. And for that, we are so incredibly grateful. And because of this summer, we really we're like, man, this is really turning into something. And we really, we had some brainstorming sessions, and we really want to take Full Disclosure Friday up a notch, and we want to take Teamly Real Estate up a notch.
A couple notches.
Yeah, a couple notches. I mean, if you know us, you know, a couple notches is not even, it's like 10 notches.
Yeah.
But so if you noticed on Facebook, I posted, September's schedule, and we really want to focus on giving more content. We've gotten so much feedback from our friends, family, clients about what you want to hear about and what would make these more impactful.
Right.
And so we're doing that. I also created a YouTube channel, so we're going to be posting these on YouTube. So if you're not a big Facebook person, and I get it, we're going to be posting them on Teamly Real Estate YouTube channel, which is kind of exciting. I can officially say I'm a YouTuber.
Yeah.
Kind of fun. Maybe I'll be hip to our high schooler now, right?
No, she won't.
No, I definitely won't. So you guys, if you have been above ground in the past few months, the one thing that everybody's talking about, if you flip the channels, flip the radio, what are they talking about?
Housing market crash, recession,
impending doom, dun dun dun,
inflation. Yeah, you hear about it.
The election, blah blah blah, and it's got people all a tizzy, and the media has definitely got everybody spinning. And so we really wanted to focus on dispelling the rumors, kind of getting everybody to understand it's not 2008, and this is going to be why. So, but it's gotten so bad, you guys, that Realtor.com did a survey of 15,000 potential home buyers and sellers.
Yep.
And 53% of those people said that a housing crash was imminent. And 55% of those people said it was going to be worse than 2008. And let me tell you guys, that is not the case. And here's the thing, we don't have any magic ball. We don't know what could possibly happen. But all of the things that happened in 2008 are not happening now. And because this is Matt's bread and butter, because this is the guy that wakes up and watches CNBC first thing in the morning and then scrolls stocks and economic articles all day long on his phone, I'm going to let him take it over.
I don't tweak out on it.
Well, because if you guys know me, math, not my thing.
Not so much.
Not so much.
Yeah, so you guys have been hearing for months, years actually, the sky is falling, the housing market's going to crash like 2008. Let me just tell you that is not the case, because it does not look the same at all. And like Kel said, we're not the end all be all, but we analyze what's right in front of us and what we see and what we're feeling in counties, cities, neighborhoods, and it looks a lot different. 2008, ton of inventory. Demand was really high for a while, then demand just plummeted, and then housing prices dropped 20% as well. Some areas worse than that, and you had a lot of poor lending practices. Pretty much anybody could go out and get a loan for a property.
If you had a pulse, you got a home loan, pretty much.
Yeah.
Like, I remember I was super young and I had horrible credit, and they're like, let's get you a $600,000 house. And I'm like, ooh, sign me up.
Smart idea.
Yeah.
And you had variable rate loans and ARMs, and you just had a lot of stuff that probably wasn't in the best interest of a lot of home buyers. Today you have a lot better lending practices.
You got people with stellar credit getting really phenomenal,
strong
fixed,
financials,
30-year loans.
Yeah, great income, less debt. So, and we're gonna have a couple of our lender partners on here in a couple of weeks as well, talking a little bit more about that. Short, it won't be crazy. But yeah, so it looks a lot different. Then you look at supply too. Supply is less than it was last year, less than it was back in 2008. Demand is much stronger, especially in some of the areas in Northern California. You go from the Bay Area up to the foothills, and it's pretty strong across the board. We're looking at 20% less inventory than last year, and then pretty level purchasing for pending and sold property. So
diametrically different than 2000.
Much different, and there's overall a housing shortage. If you look at the Bay Area, you hear it nonstop. Nobody can find a home, find a place to rent or buy, and can't afford it anyway. So you got a lot of buyers that are coming east into the Central Valley and foothills. So, which is awesome for a lot of you that we know and a lot of our friends and family who, want to know about buying or selling a home right now. So it is not all doom and gloom. And, we look at it at a micro level as well, and look at different neighborhoods and cities, and it changes, so what is happening in the Bay Area or parts of the Bay Area is not what's happening in the foothills, not what's happening in Rockland, Roseville, Stockton, Modesto, Sacramento. So yeah.
And we get it. Everybody has post-traumatic stress syndrome from 2008. And so every time we hear about recession, we immediately think of the housing bubble popping.
Mm-hmm.
But there's been 2 recessions in the last 25 years. One was the .com recession of 2001. And then there was, the recession that we all think about, the very last one. But what happened during the .com recession, or what is it called? The .com bust, or what do they call it?
Crash
or whatever.
Anyways.
Housing prices increased. Their value increased 6.6%. So we need to really dispel all the myths. This last time was an anomaly. And just because there's a recession economically doesn't necessarily mean there's going to be a housing crash. They are not synonymous. They don't work necessarily always at the same time. So we've got to remember that.
Yeah, and there's a lot of things that play a factor. So you hear a lot about inverted yield curves, or you hear a lot about, the cost of living is going up and wage and income are not matching that. So, you think inflation's coming, or the housing market is saturated in some areas. But a lot of those factors have to be together and perfect for there to be a housing recession. So when there's a .com crash and housing goes up, obviously they don't go hand in hand. One doesn't bring down the other necessarily. So that's why, it's really important that you get with a professional realtor, someone who's
a professional realtor.
She's a little bit more professional than I am at times, but
I'm actually the less professional one sometimes.
We're both licensed realtors though,
so. which makes it way fun. So
yeah, so you have to know what's going on. You have to know your market. You have to know your neighborhood, where you want to be at, because there's different parts of. We've had clients recently looking in Rockland, Roseville, Auburn, Folsom, and there's different
Woodland.
Well, yeah, all over the place actually, but there's different neighborhoods. You go 2 streets and it's a different situation. You go, a mile and it's a completely different situation where demand isn't as high and prices are a little bit softer. And you can get a little bit more bang for your buck if you're purchasing, and it might be a little bit more challenging if you're looking to sell. So you need to know what's going on in your neighborhood. It's not just a blanket, anybody can sell a house right now. That is absolutely not the truth. Kel and I have had a couple recently where we've taken over from, iBrokers, and people have listed with certain online brokerages, and we've taken over their listings and done wonders with them, or, people have struggled to sell themselves, and we've done the same thing. So,
and you guys, this is kind of the fun part. I'll kind of wrap this up, but with Matt and I just being referral realtors, you don't see us on Zillow advertising ourselves or in a shopping cart or on a bus bench. We build our business just from referrals from you guys. And so that means we get to buy and sell houses all over, and it forces us to be knowledgeable in really all of Northern California. And so there isn't an area that we don't know about. We're touring houses all over. We're comping other properties. We have been everywhere and are really, really knowledgeable in all areas of, the greater Sacramento area, Northern California. So even if you are not in the market to buy or sell and you just have a question about the value of your house or what it's worth, or, if you did this improvement, what would be the return on your investment from an investment perspective, call us. That's what we're here for. We're not just here to buy and sell. We want to be your one-stop shop for real estate questions.
Yeah, and anything and everything about lending. Kel and I are going down to the city after this, and we're going to talk
about zoning. We're learning about
city
zoning.
Planner about zoning a commercial property for one of our clients. So we're continually learning, but we are kind of not. There's no limit to what we're going to be doing for our clients, and that's kind of you know, what we believe in is doing anything and everything possible to take care of you guys. So.
All right, you guys. So no pending doom. Just because there's a possible recession, and there very likely will be, it doesn't necessarily mean there's going to be a housing crash.
It would be more like a pullback or a softening.
A softening of the market.
A lot of the best minds out there are, you know, saying there's a potential 5-10%. You know, it is different. Wherever you go, there's different numbers everywhere.
So don't stress, guys. Do not stress. This is not 2008. This is 2019, 2020. There was some serious learnings taken before. And we will not repeat that same thing. So sleep well. Know your greatest investment always is going to be your home over the long term. And with that, we want to help you. So you guys, thank you so much. Have a phenomenal weekend. Check our Facebook page. I am working an open house at an adorable house in Roseville this weekend. So when all these women, when you become football widows, like I will over the weekend, Saturday, Sunday, college football Saturday, pro football Sunday.
Yeah, it's gonna be a shutdown weekend.
Make a date with your girlfriends, go walk around Home Goods and start touring some houses. I will be there.
We are going to Dirks Bentley on Sunday though, so
that'll be fun.
I don't get to watch football all day.
Okay, whatever. Anyway, you guys have a great weekend. We'll see you later.
All right,
bye
guys.